I was just talking to Dr. Afrini Jinwala, and this is what she said to me. She said she visited some of the communities that protested about service delivery some time back. And they said to her, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Well, I want to know why you've burned down the library." They said, "Because nobody is listening. We've tried to talk to the leaders closest to us and others. Nobody is listening." Whether it was right or wrong is neither here nor there. The bottom line is everything possible must be done by all of us who have the opportunity to engage with communities, including students, to make sure that they never get to the point, or they are never driven to the point, where they think that they are being ignored. Because when they do, history has taught, experience has taught, that the tendency is to resort to the most drastic measures just so that the attention of those whose attention they seek may be drawn to them. So we need to do much more than we have been doing. I'm not being critical and suggesting that nothing has been done. I'm just saying, obviously, when notwithstanding the efforts you have made, they still continue to burn down property, then we need to double, if not treble, our efforts of listening to them and engaging with them more intimately. Section 29 of the Constitution addresses the issue of education. And because it's a constitution informed by the inequalities and the economic disparities that obtains in our country, it recognizes the need to provide for those who don't have the resources, the capacity to educate their children. It insists that reasonable means be employed towards the progressive realization of the educational needs of the people of South Africa. Now, that is the blueprint. What do I mean? What I mean is, going forward, we need to reflect on everything that South Africans are entitled to and are likely to insist on going forward. Actualize the blueprint, the plan that is in the Constitution, and say, how do we breathe life into this thing? And of course, government has gone to some degree to address this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having NSFAS. But it appears that much more needs to be done to meet the need as it manifests itself in the student community. The challenges in our country demand of each and every one of us, even the media, as we report about the developments in the country, to propose solutions and to do what we can to contribute towards finding the solution. We must never do anything to harden attitudes, because that can only be counterproductive. We have a collective responsibility as South Africans, because this is the only country we have, black and white, to make sure that, like other nations, a few years down the line, we can all look back and smile at the progress that we have made collectively. So I'm inspired, I'm fired up to do much more than what I have been doing, and to encourage fellow South Africans to also own up to their own responsibilities, to contribute to the development of this country, and never assume that it is only the responsibility of government to do almost everything. There is what they can do, and they must be criticized for not doing some of what they ought to have done but have not done, and be praised for doing the good that as evidence suggests that they have done, but all of us put together cannot afford to be complacent and assume the stance that suggests that almost everything has been done. We still have a long way to go until we are where our Constitution promises all of us that we are supposed to be.